Mr. Richardson.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Pearse, or Felix.
Nice to meet you.
Howdy.
Hello.
I'm Luke. I'm Luke's son.
Luke, my son.
Right. Now, this shoulder of yours. Tell me about it. When did this start happen? When did all this start? It's your left shoulder, yeah?
Right shoulder.
Right shoulder, sorry. When all of this start?
When I was involved in an accident in 1999, rupturated my clavicle.
You fractured it or you dislocated?
No, I didn't fracture.
It was a separation,
rupture. Yeah, separation, yeah.
Okay.
It went misdiagnosed for 3 years, and then I went back to the hospital where they misdiagnosed it and told them that I can't take much more of this. I said, we've got to do something, you know, because I didn't know what to do anymore. And they said, we'll get someone to look at you. He said, you better listen to him. And I said, all right then. I said, what if I'm right and you're wrong? And he said, well, we'll put you in a private hospital and we'll do it in there if we're wrong. You know, so I thought it was like an apology for misdiagnosing kind of thing. But I've since found out that he removed all my ligaments.
2001.
Yeah, in 2001, all my ligaments are gone. He's removed completely the ACJ. There's nothing there now. And a big chunk of the clavicle's been amputated.
Where was it?
Clementine Churchill Hospital.
Churchill, private hospital.
Who's your surgeon?
Reissis.
Nikos Reissis. You know him?
Yeah, he's a renowned malpractitioner.
If you Google him, he's been done for over 20 times in this malpractice and fraud, because he was apparently Nikos, Nikos Reissis, Reissis.
Reissis. Nikos Reissis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was meant to perform the subacroimial decompression.
One surgeon told us that he does arthroscopies in 2 minutes. He said he literally stabs them and then pulls it out again. And he's been to court for this and everything.
So this is back in 2001?
Yeah, but then in 2005, well, shortly after the operation, my shoulder completely collapsed. The first time I tried to sit up, basically, about a week later. And
you probably ought to, if you can, you probably ought to have a face cut.
Sorry, yeah, just so right here.
Understood.
And so in 2005, I went to see a different surgeon who said he was going to do a total reconstruction. So I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, well, you're going to put 2 screws in there, he said. And then he said 3.5 weeks, and then we'd take them out again. This is what he done. And then basically, all he done was he put a screw down through the end of my clavicle, and when it hits the subacroimial, it pushed my clavicle up, because it's collapsed, it's all dropped, pulling all my neck out. I've got 5 collapsed vertebrae in my neck because of this. So
who was your surgeon in 2005?
That was Simon Lambert. But he didn't tell me about all the stuff that is missing. He tried, you know, to brush past it.
That was a Stanmore, was it?
Yeah.
Alright, so it didn't work?
No, but the thing is, because I've got serious neck problems, I literally live in bed. This is the first time I've been out for ages.
He's not wearing the gloves for the
I have to wear gloves.
COVID. He's wearing it
I've
because
got trapped nerves in my neck.
he gets really sensitive hands.
I can't even grip my mouse, or I can't do nothing with them. Can't hold a knife and fork.
And he says it feels like he's getting like electric shocks up his, or it feels like they're burning and stuff like that. It feels like
my fingers are going to explode.
Right.
Both hands, it's a nightmare.
Okay.
So the problem is, we saw a doctor a little while back, and he wanted to do, he was going to perform he was going to use artificial ligaments. This was his plan. He was going to artificial ligaments. He said he was going to screw them in, boom, boom, and he wrap it around it twice, he said, and then I'm going to screw it all down. And we'll go from there. He said, oh yeah, but I've got a torn bursa as well.
So who was that one?
He said my book.
That's King's College Hospital in 2019.
He said, I've got a torn bursa, which is leaking a jelly-like fluid into my arm.
Is damaged. You've gone on to develop a little collection of jelly stuffed fluid basically around the shoulder, which consequently.
What, like my body trying to protect itself, is it?
Well,
That
no,
sort of
it's
fluid?
like a leak. It's like a leak. It's like a leak. It's like a leak. It's a leak. It's like a leak. It's just effectively, you've got this bumper, you've got a seal basically. If you tear the seal, the fluid from the shoulder leaks out basically.
Huh?
And this is the problem we have with organs, is that there is a lot of things, can each one of them contribute to some of your symptoms.
Was that, what's his name?
Subacroimial. But
But
the problem is, what he was planning to do wouldn't have been helpful, it wouldn't have worked anyway, because he was talking about fixing it in the position it's in now. But for this to be successful, it's got to be pulled back up again. To take this, because it's my neck, it's completely had it. Can't take it anymore.
he's getting pins and needles up the right side of his face as well.
I can't look to the right because my whole head goes numb.
Around the back of the shoulder blade, around
Yeah, and all up my neck. And when I look to the right, which I can't do now, my whole hang on, I ain't finished. My whole head, at the side of my head, and my whole face goes completely numb and pins and needly.
Yeah.
Just for looking over there, so I have to try not to do that anymore.
Sure, but that's not connected to your shoulder. But that's not connected to your shoulder. Sure.
Right.
That's not connected to your shoulder.
So I can't squat down at all.
So there's a few issues, yeah? And effectively, as you know, we did your neck and your shoulder, because we were trying to establish what's going on. So your neck, let's start with that. You definitely have got disc bulges at multiple levels.
Yeah, I know.
okay?
I was told that years ago.
Which is why your neck is stiff and achy and all the rest.
And the fact that it's carrying the weight of my arm because there's no shoulder there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And the fact that it's carrying the weight of my arm because there's no shoulder there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. He said I've got trapped nose in the neck.
This was that, looking at that, is your neck the bit that needs the operation?
No, I don't
right
think.
now?
No,
The answer is
no,
it's
no,
not.
no. I never even suggested that. If you can fix my shoulder, I know my neck will fix itself. Because when I had the screws put in there, my neck problem just disappeared for 3 months when I had the screws in my shoulder.
And the areas where you do have the most damage would explain some of your pain around your shoulder area. So at the level of your C45, which is here, some of that again, there is a little bit of narrowing on that, okay? And then at C56, which is towards here, okay, you've got moderate to severe on the left side, okay? On the left side, okay? The thing you have to remember is that the wear and tear in the neck is a pretty common thing, okay?
Oh, I understand that, but mine's been exasperated by the fact that I've got no shoulder.
No, absolutely.
But mine's been exasperated by the fact that I've got no shoulder.
No, absolutely. And I think the point that I'm trying to make all of this is that there's no question your neck has got arthritis.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that you literally have a little bit of lots of things rather than lot of
Oh
one
yeah, I
thing.
know. Tell me about it.
So the issue, we talked about is that your shoulder blade is not in the right place, you're getting pain around here, your collarbone obviously is not in the right place, your collarbone obviously is not in the right place, you're getting the weaknesses with that.
Yeah.
You're getting the weaknesses with that. There's a stretch on the nerves. There's a stretch on the nerves, which then creates the symptoms.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the neck arthritis as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the neck arthritis as well. And then with your shoulder, the second issue is that internally, within your shoulder, you've also got damage to the bumper that sits around the edge of the socket of the shoulder joint, which is the bit that supports the shoulder and gives it stability.
What about the AC joint?
The AC joint is gone, we know that. Okay, that's a given, we know that, okay?
Gone.
The AC joint is gone, we know that. Okay, that's a given, we know that, okay?
Gone.
I'm talking within the ball and socket part of shoulder joint.
Alright.
If you think of the ball and the socket sits around here, the sockety bit has got a bumper that sits around it, okay? That gives your shoulder stability, okay? This is stability of the ball and socket, not the stability of your collarbone, which is up here, okay? And this is the problem we have with August, is that there is a lot of things, can each one of them contribute to some of your symptoms. And the issue then is that we've got this series of obviously things going on. It's a list of, let's say, 5 things, okay? Of which I can fix this bit, that's number 1. I can go in and fix the deeper part of the shoulder as well, that's number 2.
Okay.
And I can tighten these things and adjust it. That solves 2 of those things, okay? Then that will then ease the third bit, which is your shoulder blade stuff, because I cannot physically do anything to your shoulder blade. Your shoulder blade will only get better because once this bit is right and it pushes your shoulder in the right place, your shoulder blade pain will gradually get better. You see what I'm trying to say?
So how are we going to fix the clavicle to my shoulder to the...
It has to be done through ligament reconstruction. It has to be done through ligament reconstruction. Okay?
What is that? Do you mean, you're on about prosthetics?
Absolutely. It will have to be a synthetic ligament.
Shoulder.
Not artificial. It's a synthetic ligament to reconstruct the collarbone onto the shoulder blade.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's not through a cut across the top of the shoulder.
So they're effectively stitching it together and then you pull it tight, sort of.
Yeah, it's a bit more
is it like a weaver done?
That's exactly, but it's much more robust than that.
Right, okay.
Weaver done is quite a weak operation. Is that it is the same principle. So because we've done, we're using your own biological what's there.
Yeah.
The problem is that is not going to be good enough for this. And the reality is because of everything that you've had before.
Good God, Doctor, you are spot on. I can't tell you how relieved I am to hear. I know it sounds terrible now because I hear all this stuff. But to hear you telling the truth, I'm just blown away, Doctor.
But look, I'm definitely telling the truth. But I'm not sure.
Accurate diagnosis.
Exactly.
It's taken me 20 years to get that. Accurate diagnosis.
Exactly.
It's taken me 20 years to get that.
So, you've got a drop shoulder, you've had problems since 1999. In addition to that, you have secondary problems with your neck and trapped nerves.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, unless we can do it for myself, I'm just praying that you're going to say you can do it. I'm not very hopeful. But if it's not pulled back up, because when I had the screws in it for 3 months, my neck problem completely disappeared. But as soon as the screws were taken out, it all came back again. Then the doctor went into denial and I couldn't get it sorted. I can't sleep on either side anymore because of this. I can only sleep flat on my back. Because if I lie on this left side, it flops forward and pulls my neck out. I wake up with, whiplash every night.
Just look down at the floor for me. Does that trouble you?
Yeah, I can't look down. I don't look up, down, left or right if I can help it.
What's that causing pain?
Yes, I get. It's just like pain all up my neck, and it turns into an headache at the top of it, and then I get all this parasthesia in it.
Even if he just tries to cook himself something small, it's like just looking down over the cooker, he ends up back in bed.
He's my full-time carer because I can't function anymore.
Has this got worse? Or has it always been this bad?
It's always been like this.
The neck's getting worse.
They put me on every drug in the book, and none of it helps, so I don't take any of it anymore.
Do you get your things?
I have to use it, and I use something. I have to buy my medication. It costs £300 a month to keep this under control. So I use this thing. It's like a tea. It's like called Kratom. Have you heard of that? It's like it does 2 things. It's like an antidepressant because I get suicidal so often. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Because of this medication I'm taking, it helps me. It stops me from wanting to kill myself.
It's a natural thing as well.
Because I couldn't take it anymore. I can't hold myself like this. I really can't.
So, do you get your things on? I was expecting your shoulder to be a lot more dysfunctional than it is.
It is dysfunctional. I can't use it.
I understand that. But I was expecting you to feel worse than it is when I examine you. I explain what...
Well, did you know what was wrong with it though before I got here?
Sorry?
Did you know what was wrong with it before
From
before I got
the letter
here?
your GP had written me out, it was to do with your acromion joint separation that had not been reconstructed. He hadn't told me he had other surgery in the interim, but I was from the letter they had said that your acromion joint was separated and you had a dysfunctional shoulder as a result. Now,
Can I just show you something as well?
yeah.
It's like I'm living in hell, I really am with this. I can't, you know, it's got to be done soon. I can't take it anymore.
2009, that's what we've got an x-ray there. Just showing how much is
My arm's no
missing.
longer connected to my shoulder, basically. There's nothing there. Moving on a bit.
Let's have a look at the other one that you had with the screws then, so I can see what...
We've got, if I go to this one in a sec.
You can see the ACJ's gone, can't you? Huh? Do you agree that there's no ACJ there now and all that?
I'll talk to you about it in a second. Some point. That's fine. That's all I need to see.
Oh, is that the clear one? Here
See, because when he done that, it was that pushed my clavicle back up, which is why my neck felt good. See what I mean? So unless my clavicle's put back up where it belongs, my neck's never going to get any better. It's the only chance I've got.
And the last guy said that he's got a sort of fluid leaking out of his bursa as well.
Torn bursa, yeah, pinching. So it's not great, is it?
Maintaining some degree of social distance. 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 This is what your shoulder looks like. So,
I know what it looks like.
the shoulder is made of a socket that lives on the shoulder blade and the ball.
Yeah.
Okay? Part of that shoulder blade is a bit of bone that sits above the ball called the
Yeah, I see which
acromion.
one. Yeah, I know.
Acromion.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So this is all shoulder blade. Now, your arm is suspended from you, that's your collarbone, that's your breastbone. Your arm is suspended from you by your collarbone. And that's because there's a bone that sticks out the front of here, and there are some ligaments that hold up your shoulder to your collarbone. Okay?
Yeah,
Are you with me?
I know all this.
Yeah.
This is really old news.
Okay.
I know exactly what's wrong with it.
Good. Now, what's happened is that you've fallen down, you've ruptured these ligaments, right? And now your collarbone was sticking up like that, your shoulder was sticking down like that. Okay? And these ligaments were ruptured.
Yeah, except that this bit here is no longer there, is it?
Yeah, it is.
No,
It's
it's
still
not.
there. It's still
There's no
there.
ACJ there.
That's
If
your
you say there is, then we're walking straight out.
There is no ACJ there.
There is no
doctor.
ACJ,
We've got some
Please don't
chest
try.
x-rays here.
The reason I'm starting from scratch, and you need to come with me on this explanation, is you need to understand what is going on. This is not the ACJ. This bit of bone is called the acromion. This bit of bone is called your clavicle. And where the two meet is called the ACJ.
Right.
This thing here is the ACJ. This bit of bone is the acromion. This is the clavicle.
Well,
Okay.
big for this with a different doctor. He blatantly said there is no ACJ. He said it's completely gone and we cannot replace it. That's
So
what he said.
Do you want my opinion or
Well, I
do you
do,
not
yeah, but
want my opinion?
if it doesn't match up, then something's not right, is it?
We keep getting
We keep getting
contradictions.
contradicted stuff, you
You
see, this is the
need,
problem.
because I think there is a gap in your understanding. Because I think there is a gap in your understanding. That's why I'm going from scratch to explain it all to you. Okay?
Yeah, if you're saying that there's an ACJ there, that's not...
Did I
that's
say
not
there
the
was an
case.
ACJ?
Well, I thought that's what you're saying.
No, I did not
okay,
say
fair
there
enough.
was an ACJ.
Yeah, okay, it's just that I'm really worried about this, you know, I've been through like hell and back with this.
So, let's just diffuse the situation. I understand you're anxious about this. Okay? You have come all the way from North London to come and see me for my advice. You might as well listen to my advice. If you don't want to listen to my advice, I'd understand.
Oh,
But it's
well,
kind of a
well,
waste of your time, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Yes or no?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I know...
We've been through the mill and like we've just so
I
we've
understand
lost so much faith in the system, and it's
I
just we're
understand
looking
that.
for someone to shine a bit of light on us. So.
I understand that, but I need to explain to you what is going on with your shoulder. If you don't understand what is going on with your shoulder, I cannot make any progress here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you've been told in the past. To some degree, I'm not too concerned. What I'm concerned is that you understand where we are now. Okay? And unless I take you on that journey of explanation where you listen to what I'm saying about your shoulder, you're not going to understand anything I have to say about your shoulder.
Can I
Okay?
get on with it then, please?
So, you disrupt. So what happened is you fell. Your shoulder was pushed down. These ligaments were ruptured.
No, it's not. The shoulder wasn't
The
pushed
injury,
down.
is it
Hang on a
in-
minute, Luke. The clavicle was pushed up. It separated up. Alright? But because he removed the ACJ and all my ligaments,
Into
this is all
2001.
dropped down, and this isn't connected to anything. My clavicle was not connected to my arm.
His initial injury wasn't the main problem. It was after the 2001 surgeries when his shoulder wasn't all dropped after the bike accident. It dropped after the.
It was the surgery that caused my shoulder to collapse in the first place, basically. It wasn't collapsed until after
And
the
he's
surgery.
been told that they've actually been removed. Some of the tendons have been removed.
Okay, so at some stage, what has happened is this ligament that suspends your arm and this bit of bone that connects that to that have gone. Now,
That's right.
I don't have the documentation of this,
Yeah,
but
you don't
you
need
tell
it.
me
Yeah.
that is because someone did a surgery to take away this bit of bone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And not reconstruct this ligament or damage that ligament.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
this is the situation you're
But he
in.
also removed the ACJ. We've had that. That's been confirmed a few times now. So please don't say that there is an ACJ there.
It's
because
not.
we know there isn't.
But I
Doctor.
haven't said there's an ACJ. I don't know
I
why
know,
you're
well, it's just that
fixated with
the
this.
doctors have been telling us a lot of conflicting stuff, you see, and I've been going round and round in circles for 20 years now.
Dad's coming.
I can't go any further with this. You're my last hope of you. You're literally my last hope of call you on before I get out of here. I can't take it anymore. My arm's not connected to my shoulder, so unless that can be reconnected, I don't know what I'm going to do. You've got to understand what I'm going through here, Doctor. I'm in a right old mess here. All they need to know is, can it be done? Can that be put back up where it belongs? Or is it going to be stuck where it is? That's all I really need to know.
And why would it?
I don't think it can be done. I don't think it can be done. I think it can be done.
Oh God.
I was going to try and explain to you why, but I'm finding it difficult to get there. But in short, I don't think it can be done. In short, I don't think it can be done.
What would you? How if we said, right, well, do what you can? What would be the what would
if you came on the
treatment,
journey with me where I explained.
I'm sorry, but I'm really I'm really stressed out here. We've had nothing but conflicting evidence.
All I can do is do what I'm trying to do, which is explain.
You don't attack me personally, then, please.
I'm not.
I don't choose to have all this. We just want to get it done right. I want to know where I stand with it. That's all. There's nothing personal with you. It's me. It's my problem.
I understand. There is. So, I do not think there is anything that I can do to make your shoulder, as you say, suspended. Now, I think there is a fundamental issue with your shoulder, which is that, and this is going to be troubling for you to hear, but it does feel as though it is suspended to some degree. But what's happening is it's behaving like a trap. So this is complicated. Yeah. Okay. I will talk to you because you're slightly emotionally detached from this, okay?
Yeah.
This is incredibly complicated.
Yeah, we know, yeah.
Incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
This is incredibly complicated.
Yeah, we know, yeah.
Incredibly complicated. In order for you to understand what the problem is, I have to teach you anatomy, what bits are what, and I have to teach you mechanics, how the shoulder works, okay? That is a complicated discussion. Unless you understand the anatomy and the mechanics,
I'm pretty good at it.
You won't understand why it is that my options to fix this are limited. Okay?
Right. Yeah, well, we know they're limited because of there's not much to work with in regards to what's left there as well.
Well, the last surgeon actually diagnosed me with a total loss of suspensory mechanism. Would you agree with that?
Professor.
That's a professor.
No, I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that.
That's what you wrote down.
Because you do have some suspension.
No, you're not.
And I know that because when the shoulder is completely not suspended, your collarbone is up here and the rest of the shoulder is down here. I spent quite a long time, you can feel it yourself. If you run your finger on his collarbone and you pull down on his arm, it only moves ever so slightly. It doesn't drop right down. What does that tell you? The arm is suspended. Okay?
Look at the level of that clavicle there to that one there. There's a good 2-inch drop there.
But it's also where the clavicle's been shaven down quite more than normal. It's not got anywhere to sit. It can't sit on the top bit there because it's not long enough.
Nothing there, is there?
No.
That is more likely the issue. Okay? If you can imagine a door that has a hinge like this. Imagine a door like this. This is your door.
Yeah.
And it has a hinge here. So it can swing around that hinge. It can go around that hinge.
Yeah.
Okay? What's happened is, although the shoulder is suspended, there is no control, so the shoulder blade is swinging around the suspension. That's a problem. So what Simon Lambert has done has been to resuspend the shoulder, but the shoulder is still swinging around and therefore the shoulder girdle is unstable. That's the problem.
But when
It's
he took screwed out,
complicated. It's complicated. Your shoulder is not dropping right down.
Yeah.
It isn't. You can see it. Your shoulder is not dropping right down.
Yeah.
It isn't. You can see it. I really don't know. I understand you're really anxious and you're really upset and you've been through a heck of a lot. This has been going since 1991. And I understand you're really frustrated. But it is, you're making my job impossible because everything I say you challenge, everything I say you disagree with, and yet you've come for my opinion. It makes it very difficult.
I don't disagree with anything. I'm just trying to get through to you what you've been told about a dozen times now, and every single doctor has contradicted the other one. So we're trying to get it right. I've done a lot of research on shoulders. I know exactly how my shoulder works. I don't need to be told how it works or what's wrong with it. That's already been done. All I want to know is if it can be fixed. That's the only thing we're interested in, really. You can't fix it. That's the only thing we're interested in, really. You can't fix it. You can't fix it.
What about the x-rays we've just had done? What about the x-rays we've just had done? Would we get a chance to see them?
I have, they look exactly the same as the x-rays. They look exactly the same as the x-rays.
Have a look though, please.
It's not easy because I can't bring you around to the other room. Hold on.
If there's not a surgery option, what other...
That's it, I'm done.
I would hope that the surgeon who you're going to see about your neck might be able to make your numbness and all that sort of stuff better, but I can't fix your shoulder.
Well, if your shoulder's not fixed, then I'm never going to fix the trouble with my neck, am I? It's as simple as that. I might as well top yourself.
This is what your shoulder looks like today. I was looking at it earlier on, it looks exactly the same. It's suspended. The problem is, so it's
there's nothing connecting it though, is there?
Yeah, there is. There's something connecting the shoulder between the collarbone and here. So your shoulder is suspended from your collarbone. The problem is, it's probably a linear piece of string, which means that the shoulder blade can rotate around it. So although it's stable up down, it is, because your shoulder's not dropping right down.
Well, it can't drop any further. It's as low as it can go.
Although it's stable up down, it's not stable round and round. Although it's stable up down, it's not stable round and round. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay?
See, the last doctor who was going to operate on me, what he wanted to do was strap it all up, but to stabilise it. Which would defeat the whole object of having no point of doing it.
So the only thing that could be done, but I'm not going to do it because it won't work. Yeah. It will put you through is to try and rebuild your collarbone and fuse this joint.
Well, that's what he was going to do, basically, but
I'm
he
not
was fixed there.
going to do it because it'll make you worse.
Well, that's right. This is what I said to the last doctor. I said, because he was really giving us built our hope up. He did.
Yeah, I'm not. I
And he
can
said
tell
he
you
was going to
it
strap it
won't
all together to get some stability in there. Because there's no
To do
stability.
that-
Why would it not
Hang
work?
on a minute.
Because it won't. I can tell you it won't work. In theory, I've had one of my colleagues try it, doesn't work.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen a shoulder and we amputate an ACJ amputated, all the ligaments are gone, and part of the substance?
So it's not an actual injury.
3 times. Okay.
Why would the
One
surgeon
person-
take that out in the first place? That's what I'd like to
One
know.
person was involved in it. Anyway, the bottom line is the only thing that you can theoretically do is make your collarbone longer,
Right.
steal some bone from somewhere else like your hip, which will cause problems there. Then you've got to get it to fuse to that other bit of bone, and the chances of actually healing to that bone are really
It's
low.
not to connect to, is
And
it?
It's
then
especially
once
with
that
this.
is healed, because you've taken bone from somewhere else, once that is healed,
Well,
and you've
yeah,
got a
that
new
before, right?
collarbone, you've then got to resuspend the shoulder from that new bit of collarbone. That's another thing that's got to heal to it. You've got 3 interfaces that just won't work. I will put you
That's
through
the
a
two,
year of
right?
surgery, and you will be worse off because you'll have hip pain from where I did the graft. I'm not the man to do it. If you want to try it, you can find someone who will do it, but it's not going to be me, because I can tell you,
Can I just
will
ask you
be worse
something?
off.
A ruptured clavicle, right? A subacroimial decompression. That's what I went in for.
That's what's on
Okay.
his. That's what's on his
Can
sheets.
you answer me this? That if you was to perform the subacroimial decompression, would you remove all the ligaments, the ACJ, and part of the collarbone? Would you do that during in a subacroimial decompression?
I mean, you know the answer to that.
Yeah, but I'd like, you're the expert, and I'd just like to know: would you remove those body parts?
Of course you would, because
Would you remove those body parts?
of course you would, because
Would you remove those body parts?
of course you wouldn't, because the subacroimial decompression is exactly that.
That's
You're
right.
That's just taking a bit off the edge and it pushes it back
That's what I
down.
would do.
That's right. But that's not going to work on this, is it? Because there's nothing to fix it to.
Would you put that in writing for us that you wouldn't perform that in
You
a?
perform what?
You wouldn't take
Amputate the
amputation
ligaments
in a
and
routine
ACJ.
subacromial decompression.
No.
Do you agree the ACJ has been moved?
Sorry?
Do you agree that the ACJ is not there anymore?
So, I am not party to what has happened before. In a court of law, even if I wrote that down, a barrister would shoot me down because they would say, were you there at the operation? I'd say no. They'd say, how do you know that was taken away at the operation? Oh, because Mr.
The
Reissis
barrister
told
is the
me."
one that actually asked us to ask the questions.
So, he said, oh, he told you. How do you know he was telling the truth? Because I believe him. He's not
Well, then
joking.
trust that you're an expert at the situation.
The barrister is the one that asked us to ask the question.
I'm an expert of something that I am witness to. If you want me to attest to the technique of a subacromial decompression, I will tell you what that is.
Yeah.
And that is there. It is in the books. It is
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
just showing a
need
bit
to
off the end, isn't it? And then push it back down.
you
It
don't
should be
need
simple,
me, you
shouldn't
don't
it?
need me to tell you that.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but that's what
But
I feel
to
about
tell you that this has been caused by someone doing something bad, I can't tell you that because I was not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you can see by the evidence on the x-rays that it's been
I
removed.
can see what your x-rays look like now, but I can't tell you how you got there.
Yeah, I know, that's not really my question. What I was asking you is, would you remove the ligaments, the ACJ, for any reason at all? Let alone if it's just for subacromial. Is there such a procedure? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
Because that's the crux, that's the bottom line, really. You know, you shouldn't have taken all the stuff out.
Look, I believe you. I believe you. That's not why you're here. You're here for a solution for your shoulder.
Well,
And
Yeah.
I'm telling you
you
that although there is a theoretical solution, it won't work, and I'm not going to do it on you because I will leave you worse off than if I did it.
Yeah.
It won't work, and I'm not going to do it on you because I will leave you worse off than if I did it.
Yeah. I don't think you'd survive one
I don't
anyway.
think.
Well, you pretty much confirmed really what the last doctor was going to do, because he said that he did it without saying it though. He said we're going to strap it all together, you know, tighten it all up and give it some stability.
That's not what I did.
But he didn't mention about lifting it up. And when I realised that, I knew that I can't have this operation unless it's lifted back up, because I was still having a neck problem, wasn't I? And that's the problem. That's what's crippling me.
I will write what I have been trying to explain to you in a letter. Okay, I haven't managed to explain it to you because I can't get beyond a certain point in our discussion. Okay, but I will write all the details of my thought processes regarding your injury and what can be done and why I don't think it should be done. Okay, and you can read it, you can understand it if you want. But the problem is, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand what I write without having gone through the process. It is, because it isn't. I will say it again, and you can quote me on this. It is nothing to do with suspending your shoulder up. And if that makes you walk out, it does.
Well, it's just that
it is not.
Yeah, but I've already experienced it now, it's already happened.
It is not to do with that, because your shoulder has not dropped.
It's already happened.
It is not to do with that, because your shoulder has not dropped. Your shoulder has not dropped. Do with that, because your shoulder has not dropped. Okay, you can see it is level here.
Hold on a minute, get that up again. Just pull that out again, please.
I just want to show you that, It is well dropped. It's unbelievable.
You can't deny that.
See, look, if you do an x-ray with someone standing like this, it will look as though this one is down.
Oh, you're saying I'm standing up straight now?
See, look, if you do an x-ray with someone standing like this, it will look as though this one is down.
Oh, you're saying I'm standing up straight now? Is that what you're saying?
I'm really struggling.
Well, no, I'm struggling to understand whether you're telling me the truth or not, basically. Please.
He's so hostile to me. He's so hostile to me. He's so hostile to me.
Because you just said
my shoulder, look at the state of it.
I can't make any progress here.
Look, hang on a minute. Look, this is the problem. See where the top of that one is, right? And look at it compared to that one, and I'm standing up straight.
Even this way this comes out as well.
That's a massive drop. There's no ACJ. Look, there's the ACJ there. There's nothing there. It doesn't exist. It's gone. It's all been removed. And if you don't agree with that, then...
I'm really sorry.
So you're saying, after looking at that, you're still saying it's not dropped?
I'm not saying anything.
So you're saying, after looking at that, you're still saying it's not dropped?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Come on, let's get out of here.
I'm really sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry to have alienated you.
I'm sorry not paying up here in the first place.
Calm down,
all I've tried to do is do my best by you, and I'm really sorry.
No, you're being too cautious about what you're saying. I can't have it.
I've not been cautious. I've been consistent. I've said that relative to your shoulder blade, your collarbone is relatively well aligned. Your shoulder hasn't dropped.
Listen, we've got video footage of everything that's happened to me, every single thing, right? And my shoulder has dropped by at least 2 inches. And if you're in denial of that, then you're not telling us the full story. Come on, let's go.
I'm really sorry that you come on.
If you can still do the report, you still do our report for us.
You know, I have one philosophy.
I've had 20 years of this, Doctor, right? I can't accept anybody telling me that my shoulder has not dropped. That's not true, and you know it. You know it, Doctor. So don't say anything different, please. You know it, don't you? It's dropped. And you're denying it, right? Okay, he's denying it, Luke. No, he's lying.
Why would I deny it? What do I have to gain? What do I have to gain?
We already know the answer, though. We know it's
What do I have
dropped.
to gain? If you know the answer, why have you come to see me?
To see if you tell us the truth.
Oh, okay.
Clearly not. Come on, Luke.
Oh, thank you,
I'm really
Doctor.
sorry you come all this way.
So am I.
I'm so sorry.